Alright, got this on. It's gonna come closer to the microphone. Anyways, let's load that other one up. My coffee water is heating up. No! Shit. Yeah, right there. Yep. Scopolamine, huh? Which one of you has already done that? That's a question. Cool. Cool. Let's do this thing. I'm going to get some coffee. Okay. So, anyways, sit down here, wake up a little bit, have some coffee. Fucking, I don't know what to look at. I don't know, man. Tired. Don't really want to look at much of anything. So, did I watch that? I did watch that. There is other stuff to watch, you know. You can watch your old stuff. You have a lot of old stuff to watch. I mean, you're not wrong. Not wrong at all, in fact. By trust. Yeah, okay. I mean, what? It's just that I woke up and they're really big today. Like my testicles are just big today. There's no real other way to say it. Let's focus. Yeah. Pogo! Alright. Cool. Alright. Alright. Right. I'm just waiting for this to be done uploading. It's very, very long. It's very long. Okay, so what? Nothing? That's clearly not true. Well, just before I choose country. Ooh, that's not good. Carrie Underwood before he cheats. So. Ooh, next time, so. No. The lyrics don't stop. That's why music's aren't perfect. What legacy do I have? You know? Still saying that next time. Anyways. Next, so he's going to, but you're still going to be with him. So he's not cheating if you're not with him. That's not how that works. You know. These lyrics don't make sense. No, but I get the thing. Fucking before he cheats. Anyways. We're all thieves. Yeah, we've all thieved. That's a way to say that? Apparently. What are you on? I am literally just on the music subreddit. Kind of going through stuff. You know? Teenage Riot. Sonic Youth. Man, it's been a long time since I've listened to that. Yeah, that's good. I'll open that on Spotify. Hell yeah. I'll open it up again on Spotify. There we go. Alright, so is this Soul Music Classics? Best Soul 60s, 70s, 80s? Got that. Tell you about listening to that Teenage Riot Sonic Youth song. Not quite the same thing. I'm still kind of feeling about that Keith feeling, man. That sucks. Yeah. Blues, just because I guess the Battle Angel Alita got me. Anyways, blues, Solly Corner, rock music. Listen to some of this. By PUBG Time, Battle R. Is it really spring break for some you motherfuckers? What do you want us to do? Fucking go do all the self-care and love yourself and feel good about yourselves. I'm asking for the impossible over here. Apparently. This is good. This is really good. Like, no, it's genuinely good rock. It's got a good beat. Like, it doesn't have quite, like, the oomph behind it to, like, make it that, like, craziness. It's perfect, you know? It's like going for an entirely different type of sound, and I like it. Not entirely different, but for sure, it's a different sound than what I'm used to. Whoop. That 20% fucking charge, though. 20%. Alright, so I'm instead going to go on to my best on my home. That is a creepy fucking art piece, and I love it. Come here, honey. Listen, Olivia Litonova. I cannot say that. I'm sorry. I butchered the shit out of your name. From 2018. Very creepy. Very good. I love it. But I have fun with you, Sunflower Slut 69. Bitch, I would fucking have so much fun. I don't know why, but for some reason I get the feeling you're near woods, so we'd have fun in the woods. Ski lift, chair, blowjob fun. I always wanted to try that. That's probably really fucking dangerous. Or gondola, or what is it, gondola ride down or up. But see, that's the thing. Like, you got so little time. It seems like because, you're waiting just to reach a destination to the top, it takes forever. But that gondola ride really isn't that long. It's like a few minutes at most. Like, some of them are very long, don't get me wrong. And actually have changeover points. So you gotta be watching out for that. I don't know. That's one of those, like, in secret, you sort of just have stuff going on in the background that you both get to enjoy and wink, wink, nudge, nudge type of thing, rather than, like, turning it into this big old production. You know what I mean? Isn't it kind of, like, hotter to have other people around? They don't fucking know what's going on. You do. And I control the remote. Do kind of like that. Mm-hmm. Or something else. I don't know. But you like the idea. Like, I love the idea. Like, but it's also one of those things where it's like, probably not the best idea. It's very risky behavior, for sure. I love it. More risky behavior. What's the weirdest thing that you've ever thought about? For me, it was skydiving. Like, figuring out some way to do it while skydiving and manage for both parties to finish before having to pull the chute. And people are like, that's not that hard. Like, skydiving is less than 2 minutes. Like, even when I'm extremely horny, I can't do that. Sometimes, like, I can't do the under the 2 minute mark. It's not happening. Not even getting into women. Women don't have that. Like, you have to be playing with each other the entire way through, up onto the plane, on the way up, like getting up to, like, it would be a whole production run of trying to get it to work. I don't know. It seems kind of silly too. Yeah, terrifying. Probably very dangerous. Not even going to talk about, like, if you're in fear mode, sometimes you, as a man, can't do anything now, and as a woman, can't get anything going down there either. So, because that's fight or flight, and you're in survival mode, not in lovemaking mode. Although for some of you fuckers, it's kind of the same thing. Which is its own caveat of, like, shit, Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Just like, I don't know. I don't know if that would be me. Certainly never placed myself in the situation to begin with and never gone through it so often that I got bored enough to say, let's try masturbating while skydiving. So I know if I can get hard and find some random person to have sex with while going. Like, it's just one of those things where, like, it kind of has to just happen, or you have to plan it out. You know what I mean? Like, you either plan it out or it just happens. There's no, like, I kind of edged my way into it, like, just, I don't know, felt like I wanted it, and then it just sort of happened. Found a girl. She was like, yo, dude, I've been skydiving all the time. That's how we found each other. Fucking, just so happened she was ready to go that day. I don't know. We talked. Somehow that conversation happened. I don't know what fucking happened to make that happen. But she did. And then that happened, and now we're married. Not really. No, in reality, that would probably be very dicey. Like, if somebody were to get to that point, like, in real life, think about that, and you weren't a desperately horny teenager or very lonely person or anything like that, like, you get rid of all that, it's just real life, you have been skydiving, you have gone through, somehow managed to get, because you're on your own now, away and have done that whole thing. Then you find somebody managed to somehow talk in a short period of time. They go through your company that you always go to skydive. You made this a regular occurrence. She's made this a regular occurrence now for her in your area. They somehow figure out one way or another to talk to each other. That somehow conversation comes up. And then, like what I mean? You know what I mean? Right? Like, anyways. What do you mean? Like, the whole thing would become, like, it's, sure, technically speaking, it's possible. It's just very highly unlikely. Like, to such a degree that all the things that have to line up, all of the things that would have to line up make it ridiculous. In fact, it's far better if you wanted something to do that, you want to do something like that, just plan that with your partner or something. Anyways, not to get into the whole fact that it's ridiculously probably dangerous, and then you both are not going to actually finish. So you'd have to do multiple runs to even get close to that point. Get to that point to where you might make it, even with all the runs and everything else. Actually, this is true though. Would you be a stay-at-home dad if your wife was making $12 million a year? And it's a picture of a guy just in like cross-dressing, doing chores around the house. And I'm like, I don't know, I would cross-dress or anything, But like $12 million, can't we afford somebody to just do that? Fuck you! So the answer, no, I would probably be a stay-at-home dad. I'd take care of kids and go around and do stuff like that. But at the same time, I have to admit, I'm not really the kind of person that would probably be the best to be alone to do that kind of thing, There's nothing wrong with it. I think I could succeed just as a person. If I were to be placed into that situation from this situation now, yeah, I would definitely need help and all that. There's no way. Why? I'm coming out to Hannah Ross. It's good shit. What would you rather? You know, for some reason, like, I get more into the idea of a woman that makes all this money. She has all this power, but she just wants to be subjugated. So she's got, like, her husband at home. And she just wants to do anything for him. Like, that's her, for whatever reason, that's her stress relief. At which point I'm like, where does she not, like, is there any point where she, I don't know, maybe, like, that's her release. Work, she acts that whole way. But at home, she's the opposite of that, like, completely. Any friends come over, they're like, wow. You know. I don't know. But I love the idea of it, you know, like, she just wants to be that. She doesn't want to have to think and be, you know, all of that for everybody. She just wants to be anything for this one person that she loves. What is that? How did I get to that question? I mean, but then I feel like I kept, you know, guy. That's the thing. Like, I would feel a bit weird after a while. I'd be like, what the fuck do I do? My whole point here is just to stay here until you come home. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna fucking do things. I'm not doing that. Fucking lay around. No. Well, I'm gonna wander around the streets or something at that point. Fucking, what am I? Just a toy? Fuck that shit. Be like, hey, I get the feeling you want me to use your money for something. Let's do that. Let's go fuck around. Let's make more money with your money, or go fucking watch a movie, or do this, or do that, or whatever. Yeah. And she's like, for you, it's like anything you want. I'll give you any amount. I want to see you happy. At which point I'm like, that starts making me feel odd. So it's a whole thing. Like, it's a different, like, situation. Like, when you, for the average person to start thinking about that situation, they immediately might go, that's awesome, right? And then I get into that situation and I go, there are implications behind her doing this and this happening and this and then this. You're overthinking it. But for like real though, for kind of realsies, just sort of for realsies, just a little bit of the for reals case here. Is it like, you know? But she would, in this scenario, this hypothetical scenario, she fucking wants it. She wants to do that. Like, she's a sugar mama or sugar fucking baby at that point. Or whatever the fuck. And she just wants to do anything for you. Like, in this hypothetical situation. To do it, like, it doesn't matter what money, and that's the thing. Like, for you, like, it's different. Like, they would be taken advantage of by other people more than likely, but for you, it'd be different because you don't, like, immediately want to just take everything that they have and leave them with nothing and abuse them like that. You don't want to do that. Instead, you want to have everyone have fun because that's the way you are. So that's the only way the situation works for you. It's true. So how do you know that shit? It's like, you're terrible at explaining things, and so... I have to explain it to you so that way you start to feel okay with your own damn feelings. Hypothetical scenarios that don't exist, man. Don't fucking get angry at yourself just because you're imagining them. Fucking thought policing yourself over here. Shit doesn't even exist. Anyways, but for real though, like, I don't know. In that kind of a scenario, if that's what you wanted, yeah. What would be like your dream fantasy of that kind of thing? I don't know, like a mother-daughter team, honestly, where it's like they both basically are ridiculously rich and want to give me their money. And just want to get fucking owned by me in any way, shape, and form. You know, just fucking go out, do shit, have sex, do whatever, you know, or you know, you're never very specific. How come you don't like getting specific? Because day by day, motherfucker. It's like, man, I woke up today, I'm feeling this kind of way. I'm going to do this thing, you're coming with me, you're not coming with me. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to go back home, we're going to do this, we're going to go fucking bed, we'll start up, I'll see what I want to do that day. You know, you're going to have your fun. You're going to do your own thing, I'll do this thing. I don't know. I mean, that's basically what a fucking, you know. Yeah, I'm thinking, honestly, that's basically what a sugar daddy provides for, you know, his, you know, it basically allows her to do whatever that's set up her own apartment, do this, do that, get her own clothes, you know, like, at that point I'm also wondering, like, the dynamics involved in a lot of this stuff really start to, yeah, the power dynamics, yeah. And that's the thing, like, for man versus woman, you know, which, like, older, sure, which way it goes, it's a whole different type of scenario, you know, like, in which way. But see, that's the thing. Like, if I had it my way, it would be what I just said. You know, they both want to fucking help. It's not a bad power dynamic. It's just, you know, type of change. But then, at the same time, I'm also thinking, what the hell do I do? Like, in that situation, do I really just go fuck around and do whatever the hell I want, demand whatever the hell I want, just do whatever I want, you know? Is that such a bad idea? I mean, that's the ultimate goal everybody's striving for, right? To make it to that point where they get to do basically whatever they want, you know? Yeah, kind of. Within reason. Yeah, but what if you even got rid of reason? Yeah, see, I don't like getting rid of reason. Yeah, but what if you did? Some mute point. To be like your own whole island and government system and things involved in that kind of a thing to even happen. Hypothetical fucking situation, dude. It doesn't need to be in real life. I don't know, man. Probably. I'd probably do a lot of weird ass shit. I probably would. Seriously. I really would. There'd be a lot of things that go on that would be considered ridiculously terrible by society standards, I bet. But in that context of that environment, it would probably be seen as perfectly normal. And see, that's the thing. Like, that's kind of one of those concepts I've been trying to get people to envision, is that where you are in the society and community that's around that area and or government, meaning the country, dictates more or less how you start to feel about certain morals and certain ethics and what religion or not religion or gone through a religion and are out of religion dictates, again, your own morals and values. So, and they're almost all forever altered because of the fact that they all start at a point where they are. Like if they developed nowhere, absolutely free from no society, they come up with their own thoughts and ideas. It doesn't end up looking like what we have, you know? It doesn't. That's small scale, though. You start thinking large scale, the entire world over, it's a different story again. Entirely different story again. You know? Becomes more about, like, becomes more about how to make the machine go towards the right, you know, type of area. That's, yeah, I understand that doesn't sound great, but it's kind of what you kind of get to do. Like, because you can't make people do anything, but you can kind of help guide them in a general way. You know, you're like, hey guys, this is a really good idea. There's money, influence behind it. Come in.
Time to go.
Here, let me take my earbuds out. Alright, so it is time to go pick up or go follow my mother. Anyways, this should be interesting. But she has to drop off the mother-in-law and I have to drive her home. What are you thinking? I'm thinking about my Mercy heel slut. Tracer, because I need somebody to be able to get in front of the lines. What are you? I honestly don't fucking know, man. What character in Overwatch would I play? That's the thing. Like, I'm not even a character. I'm the guy that's in the back that directs everybody towards the goal. Which I don't like. I don't know. I often played Roadhog and Reinhardt, which were my two games. Zenyatta was my healer most often. Zenyatta or I think I'm almost ready. I'm just drinking some water. Alright, so I just followed you, right?
Yeah.
I could bring the dogs.
I know, but no.
Alright. logical, like the roundabout answers that I have to make it take place. That's the fucking problem. That's the issue. It's not like that it's not possible, it's the fact that, like, to make it possible, so many things. Like when I tap that. Your fucking pussy, bitch. I fucking love that. It's like, do you have anything you want me to hold for you? I don't fucking care what it is, man. I don't care what it is. Okay. Let's get going. Where is she? What is she doing? What's going on here? Just fucked around with my stuff, huh? Just taking... Oh, hey, here comes Stubby the cat. Look at him crossing the road. Lost his tail. Yeah, that's why I call him Stubby. Or her, I'm not sure really. Alright, is she gonna do like a U-turn? What's going on here? She's off! I wrote it in my Google Keep, but like if I was what? Tell me. If I was in a dom sub relationship, I would call my person as God or man God or something like that. This is how I am. I am very odd. I recognize that. I also recognize that is a significant ego thing. I do recognize this. At the same time, I'm not opposed to it at all because, of course, I want it. And I'm also recognizing I am somebody like Really? Yeah, but you know what? Like, I still have an issue with people and stuff like that. But in that context, it makes sense to me because it's, you know, that kind of relationship. But in the instance of, like, some sort of, you know, religion or something, it just doesn't, I don't know, doesn't roll off in my mind as well. It's like, huh? Yeah. Until I come up with something. Do I need to come up with something, people of the sun, that you need to call me? I mean, I can. I just don't really want to put much effort into it. It's really... Motherfuckers probably call me. I like this. Twitter's cool. It's still not Twitter. Anyways.
Going a lord? Fuck lord. I hate you sometimes. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wasn't saying anything. I was choosing preferably to not say anything about that. I mean, it's good. Like, you gotta be comfortable. Yeah. How would you spell it for you then, so that way it will give more reference towards you? Oh, with a 0. Yeah, that works. It's a very easy typing mistake. Yep. You could always just do like just another easy typing mistake. Yeah. It's not easily noticeable, I guess. I don't know, maybe. Something like that. Is that really how you want to play? No, I don't count when I be out. That's me. Being weird yet. Yeah, I know. The conversations I have in that house, guys. Yeah, the fucking lights to hit. You don't like this particular? No, there's like it's in a mile. There are how many lights? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. 5 fucking lights into a mile, and it's a straight shot, so you see that you're gonna be stuck at a red light. Like, there's nothing you can do. You're stuck at that fucking red light. There's not even a car that takes a left or anything. It's the worst. Anyways. Fucking time-pass lights. Time. To go 35 miles an hour. Children's not even around! It's fucking high school! Fuckers can dodge. They can't dodge, but god damn it. I feel like they should know. I shouldn't be in front of a car right now. This is not the situation I should be doing. I feel like at the point you hit in high school, if you are not to that point where you're like, I shouldn't get in front of cars that are in the middle of the road. You know, I should look out for that. And you still don't feel like that's a good thing. You know, as a high schooler, that's a problem. Very rarely do I think that that's an actual thing. You have to have some serious. At which point, I'm like the person that, you know, like hangs around with you often. Where are they? What happened? I don't know. They got into my head. So, cause it's an ego trip, man. Like, I'm just a normal fucking person. I'm gonna die. Just like everybody else. Someone fucking tells me to die. Yeah, but you can make all of this medical advance, you'll be fine. We'll do everything. Yeah, guys, girls, women, men. I'm gonna eventually, I'm gonna live a long time, probably. Eventually, I'm gonna die. You know? Like, I might get uploaded into a robot body, though. Be alive with it. But yeah. Fucking cults. Like, if we kill ourselves, guys, we're gonna get transferred over to these aliens in the sky. And see how that, can be made. Someone might think that as a result of going through some of the shit that I've gone through. Like, no, that doesn't make sense. I'm not killing myself. No, not happening. In fact, if you are real, you should be coming here and showing up in my life. Because that would make more sense than me having to kill myself for you to exist. So, it doesn't make sense. So, yes. There's no amount of a reward on the other side that's gonna make me go, oh yeah, I should definitely do that. There's no amount of reward. No matter people. The concept of money, even in reality as it is right now, is flawed. What does money in the afterlife even mean? You shouldn't even need it. You should have everything you want all the time, no matter what. So money doesn't make sense in the afterlife. It's a thing that doesn't exist. Currency, flow of any of that doesn't exist. Shouldn't. It makes no sense. In the concept of an afterlife, there should be no need for any material possessions that currently hold value to, be it money, items, anything. An afterlife is to exist. Because it should technically not be a thing that matters at that point. It should either be there, ready, or it shouldn't exist, as in it's not that type of afterlife, it's something else. So the concepts that we have as humans don't really make sense in the ideas of a utopian afterlife. They simply shouldn't exist, truthfully, because it wouldn't make sense. And that's the rough part for people who get their heads wrapped around. You know, they're like, wow, that's my whole life. Like, these things that I strive for is my life. And unfortunately, like in the afterlife, they wouldn't mean anything. And so when you think about it, like the concept of all of these people that you thought about in the past, you get to do whatever you want, see any sights, do anything. You know, does it matter? Is that really like a thing you want to do? Like, and the concept of an afterlife, does it make sense? Right? maybe. But I'm not blind faithing anything like that. I'm a fucking realist, man. Person, you have your lights, you have your blinkers still on. Are you taking a left or not? No, apparently they're driving down this road and doing their lefty things with that blinker. It indicate that they want to go that way all the time. They want to go to the left, baby, go to the left. Finally took their left. They were indicating they were going to take their left. Half a mile back. The microdose is pretty good. I love it when I think of you. I love it when my head doesn't have anything else in it but you. Make my day just to hear your breath. Oh. How many fucking... Some of you... Let's not get into that. What? Nothing, man. The come up is definitely settling into the microdose right now. For sure. So, I just want to pay attention to what's going on around me. You know, see, that's the thing. Like, they expect, oh man, you're delirious. You shouldn't be operating and doing anything. In reality, like, for me, anyways, it makes me focus, calm down, have higher situational awareness, more accepting of what's going on around me, more in the present thinking, you know, about the stuff that is going on around me. It's actually pretty good microdosing for, I guess, helping with the whole supplement and everything else package, which I don't even take quantity anymore because some reason, I don't know why, like they just like didn't do the refill request. I kind of need to go there and ask them about that, but I've been sleeping fine without it. So, anyways, going on about your day, huh? Talking about stuff, huh? She doesn't know where she's going. She doesn't know where she's going at all in this mini. Mate! Why am I still awake? I don't know, man. Why are you still awake? Go to fucking bed. What? How fucking late is it for you? Fucking tosser. Nice.
All right. I'll be back.
I'll be anything about I need to pee. Kind of want some more coffee.
What do I have on this phone? 21%. Not the best. That's for sure. See where your package is on the map, motherfucker, yeah. What about Instagram? Look at some booties. Yep, there's a person coming. shows up. It's because you're and everything really exists. They don't really do a thing for a man, do they? Would you represent Sagittarius? You know, in that book, technically I did fit a couple of things, but I never really follow any of those signs type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really, I don't think that they, yeah, just like they're pretty vague. They could be for anybody, contribute to anything. I don't know. I don't know. I don't follow. I don't believe in it quite so much. Mount Kilimanjaro, September. How come I didn't remember that? Dude, I don't fucking know, man. They ended up having a lot of fun. What was going on at that time? At that time, I was going into the biggest throes of my jealousy at that point in 2017. September. Like anything was a trigger at that point back then to make me feel annoyed or inadequate or anything. This even felt like bad. What are they doing? Why? What are these symbols that fucking... Hang on. Like, all you have to do is put them through something, right? Yeah, but I'm not going to. I'm never going to do that. Why don't you try, man? I just don't give a fuck enough. That's really what it comes down to. Somebody, like, actually send it down. See, that's the thing. Like, I would if it came down to an actual thing. And now I think of it like as it is in reality, and I'm like, that's not that important. Or it doesn't have that much influence in my life as a result. So, anyways.
Yeah, well, I said I might notice. Well, I won't notice what you're doing.
I need to figure out what these symbols mean.
Hey, son, you say hi to Anthony?
Hi.
I got him out of bed.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
Alright, so
I'll be able to give you a call as soon as I have it done. The girl in there training for the rental stuff, she's also my tech now too.
Oh, yeah?
So she's spending most of the day training today, so that's why I may not be able to get to it today. Worst case scenario is that'll be the first thing she hops on in the morning. For me, I'll be able to check engine lights, see what kind of services need to be done in bidding, clear the codes, make sure they don't pop back up, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then I may actually get under and do the oil change. I've done it before. She was not good though. I'm not being paid for it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate
Just
that.
getting it started so she can get it drained so she can get in there, put a new filter in and lock it back up with oil in.
So you could do your own oil change on this.
For the most part, as long as you can get under the vehicle.
Yeah.
For us, it's about putting a piece of cardboard down and sliding under it. Or for me, I just slide under it. I don't care about ruining my work shirts. I just make them
That makes me claustrophobic. Yeah, I know it's not going to follow me, but I just don't want it.
You never know. Watching enough horror movies, it's a possibility.
Yes, the whole getting behind semis with their pipes hanging off the back and seeing so many Final Destination movies.
Yeah, I know. I love those movies. It scares the crap out of me. Alright, I'll give you a holler as soon as it's ready.
Alright, thank you.
Well, of course.
Alright, son. You ready?
Sure.
Thank you for doing this because why is it so close? Okay. Poor car's a disaster, isn't it?
This?
Yeah, I haven't ridden in it during the daytime for a while. It's filthy up here. Oh, everything's filthy.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I need some air. Bye, Winnebago. You see me hit the curb on the way in? That's the only curb I hit.
No, I wasn't even paying attention to it, honestly.
Yeah, now if you want to take Dobson back. No, I just took Alma School up so I could take a right instead of having to take a left with this thing.
Yeah.
With the motorhome. They have weeds too. Now I have somebody also coming on Saturday to do an estimate on the paint and what it costs to fix the drywall in the ceiling of the carport.
No, that's good.
Yeah. Have you turned the hot water on in the shower? Like turn the shower on and then the water stops by itself? Yeah, I forgot to tell your dad, it did that to me today. I turned the hot water on and I was getting undressed and I looked over and the water shut itself off. Well, there was no water coming out, but the water was still turned on.
Yeah, water pressure will drop down because the pipes expand as a result of the water getting warm and warming those pipes. And therefore water pressure will drop as those pipes expand.
If the water didn't come back on, I had to shut it.
You have to just turn it up a little bit more and the water will come back. That's all you have to do.
Right. Well, I didn't like it. It scared me.
Yeah.
I'd never seen it do that before.
Yes. Anyways. So, what are your plans for today? You had a cool thing today, right?
No, today was my day. Oh no, this afternoon your dad and I are going to Home Depot to do an estimate on our cabinets.
Okay.
And last night I totally forgot. I still have to finish measuring the cabinets today. So yeah, you're right. I do have stuff at home to do. Oh, and today is senior day at Fry's.
Senior day at Fry's. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Did you want to do something? Did you want to go grocery shopping together? Because I can get some stuff.
Yeah, when we get back from
Home Depot?
Home Depot, yeah. Shouldn't take very long, hopefully.
No, probably not.
Because I think we're going to just like talk and pick out a couple different things. And then they have to actually send somebody out to do measurements. And then we talk to them again.
Okay.
It's not a quick process. None of this is a quick process.
No. No, that's fine though. You want to make sure that it's done the right way the first time.
I know.
Yeah. But that sort of thing.
bet it's only just needs an oil change and it's not something serious.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be fine. No doubt. When you do whatever it takes to fix it. Or whatever. The guy seemed nice. But I only took like a short quick look at him. I didn't talk to him or anything. So.
He's nice. He is. He's nice. But he's a salesman. He's going to talk and talk and talk. So there's a delivery coming at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, I already got a picture of something. Your toothbrush holder got delivered.
You know, I had a toothbrush holder already. But I think when your dad carried the bag outside and it started coming apart, I think the toothbrush holder got left outside somewhere. I can't find it anywhere. So I said, the heck with it, and ordered another one. Actually, I think I ordered two because we'll need one in the back bathroom when that one gets a vanity. I think those are the best way to keep the germs off, don't you?
You mean, I guess. I mean, they're still going to be there. They're still going to grow from the toothbrush. It's not like they're I mean, they are floating in the air, but there's still bacteria and stuff that's on the toothbrush as it leaves like that doesn't stop or change. So, I don't know. What you're really doing is stopping added poo particles and stuff, I guess, from going onto it. But in reality, everybody should be, like, washing their toothbrush before they put it in and put on the toothpaste and everything anyways. So, I don't know.
You could have just said, yeah. That would have been easier. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Fact is, that's the situation. Situation is either fucking way is good.
That's right. So yeah.
So either way technically works.
Well, when we had it in that cup, that used to get slimy on the bottom.
Yeah.
It was, and it's
well,
not.
You didn't wash it very often, that cup.
I had to wash it all. Well, and I realized it was doing that. Then I started washing it more. That guy's just going, huh?
Just gotta get over. It was on the right side. Gotta get over 3 fucking lanes. Gotta get in that fucking far left lane to take a left. Gonna do a U-turn or something? I don't know. Yeah, dude has his own things going on. Person, I don't know. I didn't see who was driving it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Mm-hmm.
So your old mattress topper is too big for the motorhome.
Yeah, it sucks, I guess. You should throw it out.
No, it's a good mattress topper. I'm gonna roll it up.
So much sweat probably soaked into it.
Oh, I Febrezed the heck out of it. I've aired it out. I've done a lot. You don't even know that it was all yucky. Otherwise, I wouldn't be putting it in the motorhome. But I'm gonna figure something out for it. If you ever That guy is just too close. She's looking at her damn phone. Oh. Anyway, we get the office finally.
Everything moved out of there into my room.
To make it
an actual place for everybody to use. Which, in order to do that, I think we're going to need people to, set up my thing. And I need to talk to Dad to see if he has gotten, 50 fucking points or something to get this damn computer.
He was supposed to check on that, and
he never fucking talked. I don't.
Yeah, it was like a month ago I asked him about it.
Yeah, I know.
They just don't do the points thing like they used to.
I know.
And the points that he was supposed to get off some contest from last year, they blew it off and they never gave them to him.
Yeah.
He even asked them, there was one prize he was supposed to get, he asked them to give him points instead. And that was the one I told him to follow up on, and he didn't want to be pushy about it.
Yeah.
So... yeah.
We'll see what happens coming up here.
But if you got the rest of your walls cleaned up and everything in your bedroom, then maybe we could have the guy look at fixing the drywall and texturing it.
I mean, if you're going to do that, why not just fucking...
Huh?
I said, if you're going to do that, why not help me get... it's not just me. I need help. I can't just rip that off by myself.
Yes,
There's a reason why it's not getting done. It's not oh yeah, I could technically. Doesn't mean I'm going to. Doesn't mean that I'm going to spend the time, effort, energy, all of that when it can be done easily by everybody.
No, it's your room.
It's not just my room.
It is.
And it isn't my fault that that's there, too.
I know.
And so that doesn't make sense, and what you're saying doesn't make sense. It's just something you think you don't want to have to deal with, and so therefore you don't and are not going to.
Well, I'm sorry you see it that way.
It's not I'm sorry. That's literally how it is. It's not even I'm sorry you see it that way. It's you're not going to help me get it off. You're not going to do anything.
So it's not going to get done.
Yeah.
If your dad and I don't take care of it, it's not going to get done.
Basically, it's it's not only my thing. It's supposed to be everybody to get rid of that. Instead, you're trying to pawn it off onto just me, when in reality, it is
Well, if it was
everybody.
my bedroom, I would have had that shit done already.
Well, that's you. That's you. That's you. Doesn't mean that's
care.
me. Doesn't mean it's me. Does not mean what you think that you would do in this situation,
I'm
being me,
you.
apparently, is meaning what I would do. That's not me. I don't need to hear what you would do, because what you would do is irrelevant to what is happening.
Well, honey, come on.
Don't honey me.
Be realistic.
It is being realistic. You can help me.
I know.
There's nothing unrealistic about you literally helping me.
I hate helping you because I end up doing almost
It's not.
all the
You
work.
didn't do all the work. I ended up doing one side while you and Dad ended up doing the other side.
There's only 2 walls that need to be done. Everything.
You are being
Just
so
the business
obstinate
cards.
about this. It's hilarious to me. It really is how much you're being so defensive, so everything, to just try and not have to do any part of anything.
Do you know
to
all
have
the other
anything
stuff that I have to
do with it.
I have the rest of
You
the
have
house
all
and the
that
yard
stuff to do. Yes, you do. But then you complain about, and then if I were to set up a date to just go ahead and get stuff done, would you do it? Would that be a thing that you would do? No, probably not, right?
Well, I have resentments because
resentments.
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Okay, so the wall that I didn't do that to and have no predilection of wanting it there, and you want the walls to be fixed, and I want the walls to be fixed, and we would want to work together to make that happen, so you have resentments towards that?
Every time I help you with a project, I end up doing all the work, and I'm tired of it.
It didn't happen the last time.
Honey, you went and took your time to go find yourself a thing of gloves, and you ripped off maybe a few things, but your dad and I did most of the work.
That's not at all what happened.
Exactly
I
what
ripped
happened.
off literally one entire side by myself, while you and Dad did practically nothing on that side. I had to wait for you to catch up to my level.
That is such bullshit.
That's not at all bullshit. That's exactly what fucking happened.
Oh, maybe that's our package.
Who knows?
Why are you parked in our driveway?
I don't know.
That's I wonder if they make enough money. Well, I guess they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't rent a U-Haul, huh? And they have to pay mileage for that, too.
Yeah, that sucks.
Hey. Hi. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your vitamins probably are. Oh, we got that too on.
Yeah. Like I said, I got a thing in there saying it was delivered already. Your thing, probably.
Yeah. All right, you girl. Let's open the back door, huh?
Cancel. That is not done charging, but that should be fine. Alright, there's my coffee. That's coffee for you. Yeah, no fucking kidding.
Camping hair, don't care.
Dude, the rock fucking is awesome, man.
When? The rock zone. Anyways, the room can be done. The room can be done. Nothing about the room is done. My side that I took care of is literally done more than the other side here that they had 2 people working on. And more done on my side. And then I stopped working because they stopped fucking working, and they didn't want to do it anymore because they wanted to complain about all the work they just did. Oh, it's like we still have work to do. Okay, so that's the kind of product money. Yeah, motherfucker. When you're actually involved with other people, that's how you are. That's right, motherfucker. I get shit done. I do a lot of work. I make sure to put effort and energy and time into it and do every bit as much as everybody else on that fucking team. Because that's how I am. I put more effort than anybody else if I can. Because I'm going to support the others that can't fucking do everything that they need to. Because that's kind of how I am. You know. I'm one of those individuals that just fucking works. Like, what kind of conversation did you have out there? Sure, some of you probably heard it. It remains to be seen. I'm dubious about this work ethic. One example, parents are fucking niggas anyways. It's kind of mean. I think I can defend my parents just a little bit there. They're not that fucking bad. Anyways.
It didn't even get started until Vegas. That's right. I wasn't going to. It wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to let them make me do the work. That's the thing. The project was going to go down in flames, and they were going to never have anything happen unless they started getting some of their work done. That's mutual destruction, baby. I have no problems going down in flames if you don't want to do some work. In fact, that's exactly what is going to happen. And you're going to get tanked. And in fact, I'm going to make sure the teacher and everybody else in that class knows you didn't fucking do the work, so I didn't do anything. I know. Sounds petty. I understand that. I still think people will probably come over to my side. Hard. Especially when they learn how much you complained about even doing even the slightest bit of work towards the objective. So if you really do get put into something, is that how you are? Like, yeah. But, like, at the same time, it really depends. On what the project is and what we are doing. Like, if it's something I just don't agree with, I'm gonna drag ass. Just gonna fucking drag my ass, you know? Yes, really is fucking needle. Caseload of fucking how many serial killers? Fucking goddamn son of a bitch. What do we have going on out there? How many wars? Goddamn son of a fuck. You love that shit. What would really... I have to worry about, like, the kindergartners. And why they're not eating enough carrots. It's a big deal, damn it! But in the grand scheme of things, it's not the biggest of deals. Anyways. Oh, I need to pee, and I need to do this, and then you do that, and then you get this, and then you get that. Sorry that we ended up having that argument towards the end there. But yes, if you would like to get together and complete the whole metamorphosis and feng shui of my room.
Hey, I'm going to make an appointment for all of us to get our passports.
Why?
Do you want your passport in case you ever want to go traveling somewhere?
Yeah.
Maybe you decide you want to go to Mexico or something? Canada?
Yeah, you know, it's a possibility.
Right.
I never get the money.
Well, you never know. I mean, and I figure if your dad and I are getting ours, might as well get yours at the same time. That way we all have one if something comes up. Right?
I can just go somewhere.
Huh?
I thought I could just go somewhere.
Well, we're trying to...
I win a contest, I get the... You got tickets to someplace. And,
You want... Yeah. Cuba.
Yeah.
You want tickets to go visit Cuba.
How about Cuba? Japan, Germany, I don't know. Like, Cuba does seem pretty cool, though. I'm just... Like, the main reason I would go there is because I would love to see all the vintage cars. That's so fun.
I know.
All that maintain them.
Yeah. Well, so that, you have a lot of appointments in the afternoon. We're trying to do something next, what did he say?
I don't really have anything going on.
Well, it's the end of the month. I think we're going to try to do
Oh, which reminds me.
the 20th or the 21st.
Change for what? What are you doing then? Going somewhere? What do you mean? You're going to do something on the 20th or the 21st?
Well, we're going to go to the post office and get the applications done and the pictures done for our passports. So that way it's all set.
Okay. Okay.
No, it is. Okay. Shove on backsplash is 8.5 wide by 1.5 thick, 5 inches to the bottom. Actually, they're exactly the same, except these counters.
Oh, I need to get oil and stuff like that too.
Dang it. Dang it. What was that?
What?
2 feet 1 inch. And this was.
come in after I feed dogs, basically. Don't answer me. It's fine.
What'd you say? Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I said they're going to come in after I feed dogs. Right?
Not today.
Is it Thursday then?
No, in Thursday, they don't have to come in the house.
No, for measuring the cat, or... What
Your dad and I are going to go to Home Depot and talk to them.
What was it I was thinking? What was coming over here?
On Thursday, the guy to paint the outside of the house is coming to do an estimate. So
I
it
was
would
thinking
be,
a cabinet thing for later.
I don't know when that's going to happen. Hopefully next week they'll come out and I'll get the house ready. So 5, 29. Yeah, the taxes they look good. Four. 34 plus 2 feet 10 inches.
That's a different flavor. Anyways. Elon Chan. If you really had a ridiculous amount of money, would you? Dude, I don't know. Honestly speaking, probably not. Like, there is a disconnect, isn't there? Like, what I say now versus when you actually have it. You know, like, it's a hypothetical versus reality. It's like, oh, shit. It's not even a possibility. It's an actual thing that can happen. It's not just like some hypothetical now. It's a real possibility. And it's like, oh, shit. Do I even do something like that just because I can do something like that? You know? Then it becomes down to, like, what are your morals and ethics and values? What do they get defined as? How does one define them? It becomes a whole thing. You know? Start going down the rabbit hole of different philosophies involved in different things, and start getting into things that, quite frankly, most people, anybody really, starts saying, you know, I don't believe in that. And stuff like that, you know, like, wow, I can't believe I would be willing to do this. Stuff like that. Stuff that, you know, like, we think are dead, hard, fast laws and rules attributed to ourselves, right? But money and other things with power, greed, corrupt. We know that. We've seen it time and again, over and over and over. But is it corruption, or is it just a different form of coercion? That's the thing. If it gets made legal, is it really anything? And they can't use it against you, technically. It's no longer a thing that can be held against you. It's just part of life. Of course, there are definitely some things that should never be the case. Ever. 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 Fucking rape. Fucking murder. Necrophilia. Some other things, man. Some of this shit's just weird. And should never be a thing. Ever. Kids. No. 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 Anyways. Wow, that's fucking good. Blue lingerie, huh? What am I actually thinking of right now? I don't know, man. Not much. Drink my coffee. What's going on this phone? Are you high? Kind of a little bit, but not that much. Not to the extent that you would think. Yeah. Dude, the fucking Rock, though, man. I know, right? Dude's fucking beefcake. And he's a nice guy, is what a lot of people say. Like, I'm always concerned now. Like, always. Like, I'm like, dude, you have no fucking idea. Dude could just have, like, he has enough money and power. He's got some fame. He could just do fucking weird shit, man. You have no idea. Dude could fuck goats. Specifically those spider milk fucking goats. He just likes those ones in particular. He breeds them. It's a thing that happens. Like, he just fucking does that thing. Everything else, fine, normal, perfectly. But that's the one weird part. Just goes somewhere to his goat place and fucks them. Anyways, the point is, we all have some weird to us, man, that we hide from everybody because, that's, what we've been taught and trained to do. But the fact is that our weird is really not that weird. Yeah. What am I doing? Dude, you don't even fucking know, man. I'm off to have a fight with myself because I'm done. What would you actually do? What do you think about that kind of thing? What do you mean? Like what you were just thinking about? What was I just thinking about? Exactly. Anyways. Why do you freak out all the time? I don't know, man. I always freak out about so many different things. Which I need to write that down. What am I thinking about? You fucking don't even wanna know, man. What were you looking at before? It's Twitter. Who cares about Twitter? It's just Twitter. It's all just social media, man. You know that you should care about. I know, it's actually very powerful. I just, as a person that grew up not giving a fuck about it, it still is one of those things where I'm like, what I want to do. I want to listen to some music. No? Yeah. What am I thinking? Anyways, why? Money, power, influence, does it really matter? I mean, it's fun to have, right? People like myself that need an ego trip, great. But then, what happens when it's gone, you know? You gotta find that thing, like, cause that's the thing, both of you need to be able to enjoy what you have. The counterpart to you, if you are going to do stuff like that, has to be involved. And if she, wants to be involved and lets you do that kind of thing, and it works in that kind of a relationship, they have to be involved, and they have to, get notified and stuff like that. And if they want to be whatever they want to be in that particular situation, that's how that should work, Like if you get lucked out, man. Some people are into that kind of thing. They happen to be around, motherfucker. Dude, if all of your friends were women, don't even go there. Don't even. The amount of fighting that would get done. And probably some fun times, but just, I don't know. You know my philosophy, I can't really necessarily just be friends. I can be platonic friends, to some of you, like, that's a thing. But I don't know, like that long term, like that thing where you end up, I don't know, it's one of those things where do you really end up feeling that way, or do you end up feeling another way, or is it this, or is it that? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, because when you get down into the nitty gritty, right? When you get down into the nitty gritty, what does it mean? Right? The relationship, the joy, everything else like that. Like that person is there. Like they just want to fuck around in that capacity. It's not anything beyond that. It's just a thing. Or unless they end up having it like they want to do anything, in which case that's an even different thing. I know, you have a different thing, dude. It's like, you're not satisfied with the idea of everybody just, like, you, for whatever reason, always place yourself into that throned Overwatch position. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody seems to place you into that position. Yeah. That rubs people the wrong way. They fucking let it rub them the wrong way. You're allowed to do you, man. You're allowed to be you. You're allowed to have that kind of thing if people want to do that kind of thing for you and you want that kind of thing and the whole thing fucking works. You shouldn't feel bad. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about it. I know. I always get that feeling like the other side, they're always told by their parents or friends or whatever that if they allow this person to do these things, then that means that you're lesser than in some capacity. When in reality, that's not the case in that kind of situation. And that's got to be communicated, I think, effectively for each party involved, is that, like, they're just dolls, highly good-looking dolls. But they're there for you to play around with to make me feel good. Which is a weird concept, but kind of how that works. It doesn't necessarily have to be a cuck queen situation in that type of thing, you know, where the lady doesn't like it, and like they've been told, I have to not like this thing. I want this person to feel happy. Them feeling happy makes me happy, but I have been told, or I feel that this part of that happening is bad or whatever, and that plays its own role. Some people figure out how that works, but I've always been more into the idea of it just is a thing, a part of the couple experience. You know what I mean? You know, rather than this part of his life, you know, he does these things, we do these things, and it's part of our life, and we have this fun, you know, and it's involved on everybody's side of things. Everybody gets a chance to know what works and what doesn't work, you know? That's how I think that should go. To talk adamantly, make sure feelings aren't hurt. Those that have low self-esteem and stuff like that, they don't have their feelings hurt. But then there's always like that thing. It's like, I don't care, it doesn't matter, I only want you and no one else. And that might work for that individual, but it might not. And so that's, you know, its own caveat of worms to get into. You know, not everybody is into that kind of thing. The vast majority are, I think, into that monogamy, you know, one-on-one, less, maybe just some kinky fun in the bedroom, but for the most part, it's just work and some hobbies, some kids. You know, it doesn't really go beyond that. It's pretty vanilla. I'm describing something that's pretty complex. Very not vanilla. Pretty rainbow-tastic. Anyways. It's a different form of love, man. Some of us just like loving a lot more than others. It does fit into that category. Fuck. Yeah. Anyways. But see, that's the thing. Like, would you do that? I don't know. I mean, I don't see why not. But then, on the other hand, I'm also, like, terrified of any consequences. You know? Like, if you're not set up and you're not doing it the right way and all that, then that's not good. That's not a relationship. That's just cheating. That's not, oh, we're in an open relationship. That's just fucking cheating and being a dick to your significant other at that point, you know? Like, what if they secretly like it? It's like, hey, it's no secret. You're gonna tell me. You can play all you want, but you're gonna make sure that you tell me exactly word for word, every goddamn little detail about how you want me to do this and how you want me to do that and everything that's involved in it. Okay? And then you can play all you want about not wanting it, but at least I'll actually know the truth. And I'm not fucking dealing with bullshit guessing hint crap. Not fucking dealing with that. It's not a thing. Don't like the head games. Can't stand that shit. If it continues, I'm not doing it. Wow, that's pretty direct. Yeah, motherfucker. Just not gonna fucking do that kind of thing, you know? I'm not playing head games. I don't fucking like head games. Like, when it comes down to certain things, I would prefer rules and regulations, knowing where to stand and what it is I can and can't push about certain things. Because that makes it easier for me, you know, basically. That's all it is. It's just everybody in the party gets to know what it is they want and what's expected, and that's mature. That's being mature about the situation. Not a kid, not a child, not anything like that. That's just being real. You know, that's real relationship shit. You know, not this frilly romantic comedy. Will she? Won't she? Fucking crap. Like, that happens. Don't get me wrong. That drama happens. But in real, like, once you're in there, the movie, you know, the cameras pan away, it's 10 years into the relationship or whatever, and you're fucking wondering how the hell you know, like, that's the thing with romance that's fast and swift. Like, some of it just goes away just as fast and swift, you know. Isn't for everybody. I recognize that. And everybody's different. Like, see, I'm getting into something that's entirely weird, right? Like, entirely different. It's entirely nuanced. It is complicated because it is so individualized on the situation in the person. Feelings, thoughts, their own ideas regarding what is right and wrong, pros, cons lists, the whole fucking thing, man, becomes its own situational crapshoot to a degree. You know? If it was you, I'd fucking do whatever the hell I fucking want, man. But I would always come back to, like, mine. Always, you know? Like, if I wanted to do whatever the hell I want to do, that's probably what I would do. I'd probably eventually get bored of doing that, truthfully, after a while. Like, and instead do something else. Focus more on the actual individual relationship, because I'd probably get more fulfillment out of that. And then maybe do something else outside of that to spice things up from time to time, or, I don't know, like, fucking something else. Like, I don't know, it's one of those things where right now, as a person, like, I just want to explore everything. Nothing is kind of off the table, technically, to a point. Like, some things are clearly not going to be on the table, ever. And in fact, the fact that you thought that there were ever even a possibility of being on that table kind of concerns me. But we're not going to get into that. Yes. Would you randomly just go? I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck I'd randomly just do. What do you fucking want me to randomly just do? Are you weird? I don't know, man. What do you define as weird or abnormal? That there needs to be a basic average. And then deviation, what standard deviation past the average does abnormal occur? Is it a more of a scattered plot bell curve area of averages, and beyond that average we start to say, okay, it's abnormal, but it's fine, and then past even that, then we get into, well, and then we get into, and then we get into, nope. Not happening. Just not a thing, man. It's not conducive to anything good. Yeah. If you were a serial killer, if I was a serial... Dude, that'd be weird. What? If there was an actual woman serial killer that was out there? Can you imagine shit like that? That's terrifying. What would she do? I don't know, man. She'd probably kill other women. Which is weird to think about. It would probably stem from some inadequacies she feels about herself, or something to do with her father or mother, or something like that in the past. More than likely stuff to deal with her own trauma growing up changed how she proceeded to want to work on the world around her. Or him. I mean, it's kind of everything. When you think about it, it's not a joke. Yeah, it's just the genes, man. Worse situation, worse genes. It's the tipping point somewhere along that line, and then it gets bad. And then, of course, there are people that are kind of just born a little closer on that tipping point side of things than others, even if they are in a perfectly loving household and family, can still sometimes end up going into some pretty serious shit. So you gotta be mindful of those things, you know. If there was really someone out there, what would you want them to do? I would probably want them to turn themselves in. Only probably. I would definitely want them to turn themselves in. What if they were obsessed with you? What? I'm thinking. How do I, like, if they were that obsessed with me? Um, Fuck, I don't know, man. Would they kill me? If they wanted to turn themselves in? If they did these things for me and all that? That kind of concerns me, too. Like, a lot of that concerns me tremendously. Those whole ideas. She's crazy for you, man. Like, no. I'm reminded of a Shakespearean play in which the ugly bastard child or whatever tries to go after the throne, and he makes a speech for the woman that's there, the cat or something, and basically says something along the lines of, well, I did all of this for you, all the killings, everything was all for you, you know. And I'm reminded of my teacher kind of spelling it out then and there, like, you know, that's in its own warped way, you know, incredibly romantic. Actually, you can see why Kate might start to say, or the women start to say, like, in the play, oh, well, you know, this thing and that thing, you know, like, what I mean? Like, and sort of kind of think about it and go along with it, but then, of course, it pulls back, and I think she kind of tells him off, or I'm not sure, I don't really remember, honestly. But, yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm reminded of when I think of stuff like that, like someone that's doing that kind of thing. But the thing is that's a play, and that's that situation. It's probably different if it were different in reality, but yeah, I'd probably get concerned, for sure, of other people's safety, and not want to do things and stuff like that. And you know, the worst part is that, like, in this day and age, like a serial killer that is that smart, you know, they only need certain things, and like, that's not even what I was, like, that's the thing. I was just talking about it before, like a few days ago, where you just make someone disappear, you know, die in their fucking sleep, you know. Like, that's usually not what serial killers do, though. They usually have a thing for the killing. There's a aspect, a ritual, whatever. They get something out of that gives them their release, from what I've heard. And so, like, what they do ties into their feelings and thoughts on that. Um, you know, I'd imagine for a female that would be obsessed and trying to impress somebody or sequester them, they probably would take a lot of keepsakes involved in, or, you know, or probably do eat something of them. They would probably be cannibalistic to a certain degree. Because they would probably want whatever that thing that person has, that they perceive that person has, as, being a part of them now, to impress that person, whatever it could be. They, like if they're that obsessed with somebody, I don't know. Honestly, I'd rather they just fucking stop trying to kill people. Stop trying to do that. They want me to use, like, if they were that obsessed, it's like, I don't know, man. Why not just fucking turn yourself in, or do something else? Like, there are different yandere types, too, if you didn't know. Like, there's the one that just tries to... I'm not going to get into that. Why? Because I did back in 2016, and it became horrible. Why? Because the vast majority of the time, it turns into, this thing is mine, nobody can touch it, I will kill anything and everything that goes near it, and I will kill it and myself. That's endgame. That's terrible. That's a bad situation. Then there's the one where they're like, okay, we're going to do absolutely everything, for them in every way, shape, and form, which is dangerous too. That's bad. Because it sacrifices your own health and sanity and stuff like that, and you need boundaries there. So you need to be able to stop that. At the same time, like, the fact that they're even to that point, and that person, in this context, that person either barely knows you exist or doesn't know you exist in real life or anything, in which case, like, you're having an effect that significantly with that little impact, which is not a good thing. So you'd have to show up. And that's a whole other can of worms. Like, I don't like the whole yonder. I don't really like those obsessive types of love, truthfully. Mostly because then they end up starting to become problematic for the individual that's, the object of affection. Like that person that just wants to anything. It doesn't matter. Anything that you think is right is right. Like that kind of level of love and acceptance, and it's not even love and acceptance at that point. Like at that point, that's just straight up reverence, worship. Like I don't even know what to call that, truthfully. That's on a whole other plane of existence when it comes down to that level of, obsession almost. Like anything at all, it doesn't matter, fucking, I don't care what it is. Could be anything, dude. Like anything. And that's that fucking point where I'm like, well then, like, what the fuck? What's the problem with me going to California, doing all these things, and you showing up and doing all that? Who gives a fuck? Then this other person, it's like, no, it can only be for me. And it's like, if you're that obsessed and these other individuals exist, you can't only be the one. Like, that's just not going to be the thing. Like, I might be the one that I always go back to. You might be this, you might be that. You have your own special thing, but then that's it. Like, it has to stop. You can't go beyond that because that person has their own needs and wants, and so they have to get their fulfillment out of the relationship just as you do. So it's compromise. You have to figure out some way of, figuring it out, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I think all of you are way too much into the category of anything I want. I mean, we're not going to do anything. I have the feeling if I really started pressing on stuff that I could probably start doing anything. And that's scary to me. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that scares me, you know? What do you think? I'm like, I'd have to test it out. Figure out what the fuck would be there, what would work, what wouldn't work. That kind of thing. Anyways, what'd you write? Anything I want, huh? Because that can be ridiculous at times. Baby! Man. Like, is there someone that want to mommy the shit out of you? Are you not into that kind of thing? I'm not really into that kind of thing, no. Not into the mommying, more into the domineering. They don't care. They just want to... You know what I mean, man. Yeah, maybe I do know. Fucking... You have no idea how popular you are. Fucking... I'm not even gonna get into that. What's the most popular thing you were able to do when you were in school? I don't know, man. I was never a popular guy. I was always that guy that everybody kind of just knew. Like, my younger sister said that a bunch of her friends and people around had crushes on me when I was growing up at the time. Which I'm like, thanks. Would have been great for you to have told me any of that information at any point in time where I could have used it. Thanks, sister. Good looking out for your brother. Anyways, not gonna get into that. But yeah, you know, like, from my perspective, I never felt like I was a popular person. I always felt like I was an outcast. I always felt like everybody was looking at me. It didn't matter what room I walked into. Everybody was concerned about everything I did, because if I moved this way, everybody looked at what I was doing in class. You know, if I started reading, if I did this, if I did that, like, how I acted determined how that class was going to end up acting like, too, which became kind of daunting. Wow. So basically, you never were not at some point, and you're like, eh. From my perspective, it was just a shit ton of, like, body language cues of, like, you have this responsibility, and then my reality was, I'm getting nothing done. I have no homework done. I am not going to pass my senior year. I won't even probably pass super senior year. I'm a complete loser. I'm having all of this anxiety. I can't fucking sleep. There's nothing good about me. I look this way, I look that way, you know, like, throughout all of my time going through school, there's never a point where I was like, yeah, I'm happy, or yeah, I feel like this is good, You know, there was never a point where anybody came up to me and said, "Hey, good looking, you want to go out?" You know, and they're not going to. They're not going to. At that age, you're asking for the impossible. The women just don't do that. The women. Girls don't do that. Oftentimes. I'm not saying they don't completely. They just most often don't do that. And I don't know, maybe I was intimidating, maybe I was this, maybe I was that. I always seem to have some sort of a frown on my face at the time. Anyways, you know, and when I did talk to people, I seemed to be fine. People seemed to enjoy talking to me, and we had fun, we would end up doing things, and then they'd see me shut down, they'd try and perk me up, and then I'd disappear. That's what would happen. I would disappear. I would reclude, that's one hell of a way to say that, basically isolate myself into the